What is good, y'all? Welcome back to the Herro. Welcome back to a brand new video, and we are here recapping preseason game number 1 of the Miami Heat. A big dub against the Charlotte Hornets, man. It was a really exciting game to watch, especially towards the end when it got close and the Heat pulled out the W. A lot of storylines, a lot of things to talk about throughout this game. In this video, I'm going to be giving you guys 5 takeaways that I had from this game and how we can use them to improve our team going into the next preseason game, and so on and so forth as we ramp up closer and closer to the regular season. Make sure you guys leave a like, subscribe if you guys are new, turn on post notifications, leave a comment down below as to what your takeaways were. Leave any questions down below in the comment section. As you guys know, I'm doing a Q&A video soon, and join the Discord because we want to build up this community on the Discord so we can watch games together and stuff like that. You can talk about the team in depth and kind of just build that community even more and more. Let's get right into it, man. So so the number 1 takeaway that we're going to be discussing is Tyler Herro's growth. Tyler Herro took a lot of shots today. And honestly, it wasn't his greatest efficient game, but he definitely made a lot of strides, I feel like, in that in-between game and that painted area. I feel like I can really see the strides made and the ability to draw fouls, shoot with contact, score with contact, drive to the paint. He wasn't scared to drive against contact even when he wasn't getting the calls. There was one play where he went and just drove and he didn't get the call, but it was a clear foul. He just didn't have the respect from the official yet because he's not really a driver. But as he keeps doing that more and more, you can clearly see that part of his game he's expanding upon. Very good to see. He's always been a good off the ball shooter. Didn't handle the ball too much, which I liked. I liked that Richardson played most of those point guard de facto minutes when they were both in the lineup together, and Herro was doing most of the off the ball work. I like that a lot because that's when he's the most deadly, in my opinion, when he's off the ball. But even when he was on the ball, man, coming off screens, looking for a shot, he was being aggressive, making sure that he wasn't shying away from the contact. He was actually trying to feel it out, using the pump fake well. That mid-range game was very smooth. The same with that floater game, and knocked down a couple of threes as well. Got to the line a fair bit. I feel like it was a decent game. Not decent. It was a good game for Tyler, man. The only thing that was not good was the efficiency, but it's preseason. It's preseason game number 1. Still led the team in scoring, led the game in scoring. So 22 points. Shout out to Tyler. You can already see, man, he's taking strides. He's taking even more and more strides, and I feel like he's gonna be really good this season. I can already see, the vision in his game. I can see how he's gonna be used. I like that he's being used more off the ball than as a point guard. He's not a point guard to me. He's a scorer. So I like the fact that he's not really, being asked to set up his teammates too much. Even though he can do that, I just feel like playing off the ball and getting buckets is where he thrives at. So shout out to Tyler. That was a very good sight to see. Number 2, Cole Swider, man. We may have found our Max Strus replacement. This might be a little bit premature for me to say, but Max Strus, shout out to Max. He was a great player for us. This guy's a bigger Max Strus or a bigger Duncan Robinson. This guy is 6'9". 6'9" with a torch. Now, obviously, defensively, he wasn't the best last year with the Lakers or in college. But if any team can improve a player defensively, it's the Heat. Max didn't come into the league as a good defender either, and he left as a solid defender. You know what I'm saying? Same with Gabe. Gabe actually was more of a shooter in college and in the G League than a defender. And then when he joined the Heat, he bought in defensively. Now, he basically I think he was the reason we won this game in the 4th. Him and another player we're going to be talking about was, the 2 big reasons we won this in the 4th, because 17 points in 14 minutes. He was going crazy, man. He was going absolutely nuts. And yeah, he had a really good game. Shout out to Cole, man. He's definitely if he gets the opportunity to play, he's definitely going to be one of those guys who just comes in ready. Tonight Duncan was struggling. Duncan didn't have it going. I think Duncan was scoreless, or he might have scored 2 points. He missed a lot of shots, Duncan did, which again is not the end of the world because it's only preseason, but Cole just came in there and just made up for it and shot the 3 extremely well. As a team, we didn't shoot the 3 that well, but Cole came in and out of the 12 threes, I'm pretty sure he made 5 of them. Like, so he almost made half the threes that we made. And yeah, you just have to give him huge props for that, man, because I think, he just came in, like, he stayed ready. What does UD always say? Like, stay ready so you don't got to get ready. Like, he just stayed in when his number was called. He made sure that he made the most of his opportunity, and hats off to the guy. I wish him nothing but the best in the Heat uniform. I want to see him succeed. I want to see him thrive. I want to see him get the opportunity because I think he deserves it. So shout out to Cole. That's the second takeaway. Number 3, Haywood Smith's jump shot. Again, this is not the biggest or flashiest takeaway, but just from what I've been seeing, his shot looks a lot smoother than it was last year. He doesn't have that little hitch. And bro, like the 2 threes he took, like there was one deep 3 from the top of the key with the guy in his face that he took, and that went in. I was like, yo, Haywood's been working on his shot in the offseason. And look, I think that Haywood Smith, honestly, if it was an ideal situation, I would like Haywood Smith to be starting instead of Kevin Love. That's how valuable I think he can be to this team. Obviously, Spo's going to start K-Love because of the veteran experience and because of the role that he played last year. But Haywood is a guy who can guard multiple positions. He stripped, I think, Brandon Miller like 3 times today, stripped LaMelo. Like, he got a lot of steals. And not only that, like, offensively, he's shooting this 3 so well now. Like, his 3-point shot is coming along so well. He is going to be a very, very good 3-and-D player for this team. And over guys like Jovic, like, I feel like he's gonna get the nod at that 4 spot, the backup 4 spot, because I really do think that he's developing into a very, very good player. And I'm not gonna be surprised if he plays a lot of closing minutes for us, closing games out because of the versatility on defense, because of the fact that he can switch, multiple positions, because of the fact that he can stretch the floor. Even though K-Love might start, I think Haywood might be the guy who closes the game out at the 4. So do not be surprised if you see that, because I think, is going to play a very, very big piece for the Heat this season. Next takeaway we're going to be talking about, Jaime Jaquez Jr., man, the rookie. Shout out to Triple J. I don't know if that's his nickname. Yeah, I don't know if that's his nickname, because I know Jaren Jackson has that nickname too, but Jaime, man, he looks good. And what did I say? I've been clamoring about it all summer since we've drafted the man. He is NBA ready. He is more NBA ready than Jovic, and he can play right now. Because people are talking about Jovic. This kid Jaquez is going to be the one who gets the more minutes this season. This season. I'm not saying he has more potential, because Jovic's potential is through the roof. But right now, Jaquez, again, not to compare the two, because the only reason I'm doing that is because they played the similar position. So it's about who's going to get the minutes. Don't be surprised if this guy gets most of those minutes, because, bro, he is NBA ready, and he moves exactly like Jimmy out there. I was watching the game, and I was like, yo, is that Jimmy 2.0? Like, I know he compared his game to Jimmy. Like, I remember, watching him in college. He did have that sort of like a mid-range and in game. Like, I sort of looked at him as like a DeMar DeRozan. Like, I didn't see him as a Jimmy, because I didn't know if he had like that. Yeah, DeMar DeRozan was like athletic, and Jaime was really athletic too. Jimmy isn't like the freakiest, bounciest athlete like who dunk on you. So that's why I didn't compare him to Jimmy like coming out of college. Like, Jaime is very athletic, and but just the way he moves, like the footwork of Jaime was very, very like eye-opening today. Like, I didn't know he had that when he was like doing the drop steps in the post and stuff, like when he was turning people left and right. That's a Jimmy move, bro. That's a Jimmy move. And the same with the mid-range pull-ups, the playmaking. The playmaking really, really, pleasantly surprised me. That's the only reason that I feel like not the only reason. I feel like the reason that, I can see the Jimmy comparison a lot more now is because of the playmaking, because of the way he just rebounds the ball and pushes it and kind of handles the ball for the other team. Like, that's Jimmy. Like, all due respect to DeRozan, he doesn't do any of that. So I can get why the Jimmy comparisons are there, because he compared himself to Jimmy, and I was like, let me see it. And like, he plays exactly like him, bro. Exactly like Jimmy. Like, very, very identical. I like Jaime's game a lot, man. I think he's going to be very, very integral to this team, because he's super versatile. like on a team that lacks a lot of, ball handling, like we lost Gabe. I feel like he's another guy who can handle the ball. Like down the stretch, it was him and Cole. He was handling the ball and Cole was coming off of screens. Like that's very valuable. Like somebody who's a rookie, he had 7 rebounds as well. Like he's super versatile. And around the rim, he's absolutely money. Like he just is very crafty with his footwork and with his finishing abilities. I can definitely see this guy getting a lot of minutes for this team. Now, I don't know where they're going to come because, again, off the bench, who's going to be the odd man out? You still have Caleb Martin, who didn't play tonight. I feel like Highsmith and Martin are going to be the wings off the bench. Unless you want to play a big lineup and don't play Duncan, I just don't see them not playing Duncan because they just don't have another shooter apart from Cole Swider in that team. Like, who's going to, come off screens and stuff like that. I mean, Tyler's the only one, but Tyler's a scorer. He's not a shooter. He can put the ball on the floor. So I feel like Duncan is going to play, and I feel like Highsmith is going to play, and Martin's going to play. So, who's going to be the odd man out there? Like, they're going to have to mix and match, and Spo's going to figure it out. But that just shows you how deep this team is when a guy like Jaquez is not even slated to be in the 10-man rotation. Like, he's a stud, bro. He's so good. And I think he's going to be an even bigger stud next year when he's able to get a lot more opportunity. But from what I saw, obviously, like I wasn't surprised that he was good because I've been watching him at UCLA for 4 years now. But defensively too, like the Jimmy things did stand out defensively and playmaking wise and footwork wise. I always knew he had the mid-range pull up. I always knew he was crafty around the rim. And I always knew that he was a high motor player, but defensively and playmaking, I feel like he really, stepped up in those 2 categories tonight and really showed me why, why he were so high on him because like that was a W pick. Shout out to Jaquez, man. And then the last takeaway we're going to be talking about is Thomas Bryant. We finally have a serviceable backup center. No more Dwayne Dedmon. No more Cody Zeller. I almost called him Tyler Zeller. No more Cody Zeller. I don't even know who else was the center before Dedmon. Kelly Olynyk, Myers Leonard in 2020. No more any of these guys. We have a quality center behind Bam. And Thomas Bryant is very unique because he can also shoot the ball. We saw him making a couple of mid-range shots. He can rebound the ball. He can protect the rim. He plays with energy. He was getting hyped for Cole Swider's 3. Like, I love that addition. And I feel like in Washington, he was super, super good. I feel like offensively, he's always had the skill. The biggest concern for me was with him defensively. Because in Washington, he wasn't the best defender, especially after he tore his ACL, which I think is what he had. He had an ACL injury. After that ACL injury, it was tough, man. It was tough for him. But, he bounced around the league a couple of times, went to the Lakers, then went to the Nuggets. But, after that, bro, like, when he came here, I was intrigued to see how the fit would work. Because offensively, I always knew since Indiana, because when he played for IU, he's been super skilled offensively because he can shoot the ball, he can post up, he can do a lot of things offensively. I've always been a fan of his game. I just wanted to see the defensive rim protection. He's been able to do that. So, and especially in his first preseason game, he's been doing a good job. So, Thomas Bryant, man, and those are my 5 takeaways. Obviously, there's a lot more that you could come up with. Jay Rich's debut back, and Bam looked good. Duncan struggled. Drew Smith, I just don't see it with Drew Smith, man. Like, I love all these players on this team. This is not to single out Drew Smith, but I just don't know why he played 18 minutes. Like, I just don't see it at all. I don't know if I'm missing something. I mean, he plays very well defensively. I'll give Drew Smith that. He puts in the effort. And I guess they want to reward effort. But, bro, he's terrible offensively. Like he might, I'm not going to go too nuts because it's preseason, but him playing 18 minutes was kind of baffling to me. I'm not going to lie. I also did like to see Orlando Robinson shoot that 3 and make it. That was a very encouraging sign to see. And I would also like to see Jamal Cain get more minutes, man. Jamal Cain was a guy who was dominating preseason last year with Jovic for us. So I just don't know why he's been sitting on the bench for so long. Jovic left the game with like a knee injury. I think he had knee soreness or something. He didn't return. That's why he didn't get more than 7 minutes. But I feel like with him, it's just more about just getting his feet wet and making sure that he finds his place on his team. Because with his skill set, it's just not easy. Because there's a lot of spots on the floor, and you know, he is just so unique that he can't just be in one spot unless he's spotting up for a three. Jimmy didn't play. Jimmy will probably play the next game. We play the Spurs next. Wembanyama. It's going to be interesting. Wemby versus Bam. It's going to be nice. I'm super excited for that. And yeah, you know, great preseason game. Make sure y'all drop a like, subscribe, comment down below. I'll see y'all later as always. Peace.